I was a young gynecologist, and I heard a lot of stories about sexualized violence from my grandma, from aunts, because I'm coming from South Tyrol, what is in northern Italy, in a very rural traditional area, and they have gone through many difficult stories, and I have heard about that. And that's also why I wanted to get feminist and gynecologist. And in the hospitals, whether in Germany or in Austria, I heard again a lot of stories from my patients. Whether these were rich German women or migrants or refugees, all of them had stories of experience of violence. And for me then it was very clear we have to approach them in a very sensitive way. And I saw that in the hospitals where I worked, there was not much sensitivity. There were patriarchal structures, strong hierarchy, and these people didn't want really to engage in supporting in a trauma-sensitive way. So for me it was clear we have to organize something on our own. When then there was the reports about the war in Bosnia, I heard about the many rapes Bosnian women had to go through, and for me it was very clear. I was really very young at that time. I was, I think, 34 years old, but I really had the feeling it's a job. It's more than a job. It's a mission for me. Because I asked different humanitarian organizations whether I can support and work with them, and they told me, for example, these are Muslim failed women, you cannot support them. This made me very angry, and I started to think again, we have to organize something on our own. Then I saw the international media, how they instrumentalized the survivors. One story after the other, more details and still more details. And that was the moment when in late 92, I went to Zenica in central Bosnia via some different ways, first over Zagreb. And in Zagreb I heard during a conference about that there are many survivors in Zenica, and so on and so on. And then I found very fast the staff, the team in Zenica. These were psychologists, doctors, nurses, who were highly motivated to support traumatized women because they saw that many of them are suicidal, pregnant, for example, also, and nobody wanted to support them. The chief in the hospital in Zenica said, we cannot make abortion, it's against our law, against religion, and they realized that women made suicide because of this. So we came together, these activists, these experts in Zenica and me, and we started to build up an interdisciplinary women's therapy center, what is the first center of Medica Mondiale in Zenica. And we collected a lot of experience at that time. But when we decided to go to Čáková in late 99, for me it was very clear that we have to bring the Bosnian experts, the Bosnian colleagues to Čáková in order to support the new Kosovar colleagues here, to strengthen them, because in the beginning, of course, they had also their own trauma of the war, and they were afraid to knock on women's homes to ask what has happened to you. You need a lot of strength, but also expertise to ask this question, because you have to stand the answer, you have to deal with the answer. And at that moment, I brought the colleagues from Zenica to Čáková, what was politically not easy in 99, 2000. Even it was very difficult to speak Bosnian language on the street. So it was a very tense time, of course. But we managed, and they made a lot of seminars with their new colleagues, and they have learned a lot of, and they got strengthened by their very authentic knowledge. And so first program was in Zenica for Bosnian women, where we collected a lot of experience. We learned how to work, how to deal with heavily traumatized women, how to be sensitive, how to withdraw if it was not possible to speak already with survivors. And it was always up to the survivors to say, now I'm ready to speak, or I'm not yet ready. We don't want to break the silence in this sense that survivors have to speak, even when we know it's so important for their own healing process to speak up. But every individual needs her own time. So for us, this was always the measurement of the survivor, her or himself, to be ready. And this is some experience we brought also to other contexts, to other post-war contexts.